That guy in the white shirt is crew from our little dinner cruise boat who got off our ship to go over there to move that black pontoon boat on his own because those guys who parked there were told not to leave it there and they left it there. So he's just pushing it off. That's funny.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, so I'm doing this video by troll demand, right? Because I've had a lot of comments and personal messages that, hey, we want you to cover this story that happened out in Montgomery, Alabama, right? You ain't gonna cover this because it don't fit the narrative, right? That's the comments that I get, implying that I don't cover certain stories if it doesn't fit a certain racial narrative, right? But lo and behold, I am covering this story because I think that what you see going on, particularly when it comes to Black Twitter and their coverage of this story, is everything wrong with this country in regards to race, because it seems like we have people that are celebrating what was a race riot, okay, or a race brawl that happened out in Montgomery, Alabama, that actually really wasn't about race. But hey, the race hustlers of America made it about race because that's all they know, right? Instead of making it about what it actually really was, which was basically some guys who happen to be white thinking that they could just park their boat anywhere, right, on the dock while a ferry was trying to dock and they couldn't, you know, actually dock there. No. Let's not make it about that, right? Let's make it about race, okay? Let's make it about race, okay? As, again, what happened, and I'm going to play the video here so you guys can see what led up to this, allegedly what led up to this. Basically, in a nutshell, some guys parked a boat at a dock, and he wasn't supposed to park there, right? And the guy that's in charge, he tried to move the platoon so that a ferry could dock. And the white guys that, I guess, owned the boat or whatever, they got mad and then they started to jump the black guy, right? And then after they jumped the black security guard, a bunch of black people came out of nowhere. Some were actually swimming in the river, right, to get to the fight. They came out of nowhere and they started to help out the black guy by fighting the white guys. All the white guys basically got beat up by the black guys and they got arrested. And then you have black people on Twitter celebrating like it's Christmas, right? Or Kwanzaa, okay? Which again, in my opinion, I think it's just ridiculous and kind of stupid. But that's kind of what a lot of these people want, right? They want a race war, right? So they love seeing this type of stuff, right? Because again, this is what they want. They so it seems they really want to fight the white man for whatever reason, right? Again, that's how the story goes, okay? And again, clearly this is not about race, right? More so than it's about the fact that, again, you have people who just, you know, thought they were entitled to do something that they weren't supposed to do, and they ended up fighting the guy who was just enforcing the rules and doing his job, allegedly, in regards to what happened, because that's what we know so far. No. They want to make it about race. Like, for example, race hustle number one, Tariq Nasheed says, some suspected white supremacists assaulted and jumped on a black security guard at a riverboat in Montgomery, Alabama, after he told them to move their boat. The black community pulled up and reminded the suspected white supremacists that this wasn't the year 1963. Try that in a small town. Hashtag FBA. Hashtag energy. All right, so without further ado, I'm actually going to go ahead and play an extended version of the clip leading up to the brawl. Now, you guys know on YouTube, I can't play violence, right? If you guys want to see the unedited version of it with the violence, you got to go to my Rumble, right? Go to my Rumble. I'll put the unedited clip there. It will be raw footage of what happened, so you guys see how it started. And then there's going to be a news clip discussing the arrest and the reaction to it. And then I'm going to give you guys my opinion on this. And then there'll be the video. So without further ado, roll the clip.
That guy in the white shirt is crew from our little dinner cruise boat who got off our ship to go over there to move that black pontoon boat on his own because those guys who parked there were told not to leave it there and they left it there. So he's just pushing it off. That's funny. Took matters into his own hands. I love it. I hope the Please give him a big old ticket. Ooh, confrontation with the owner of the boat. Those guys are all drunk.
We all got to throw your ass in this water.
Tonight, police continue their investigation, reviewing video to figure out how it all went down. I visited the riverfront today to see how the community is taking it all, and some families are concerned. Multiple people jumping in and throwing punches in this brawl along the Montgomery riverfront. Viewer video shows the fight playing out just feet from the Alabama River.
With this being Montgomery and the birthplace of civil rights with a lot of his history, it's unfortunate that we make news now for the wrong reasons.
A witness claims the fight started because a pontoon boat was blocking the dock where a riverboat was trying to park. Soon after, Montgomery police arrived, arresting several people. They're combing through cell phone video and security footage in their investigation. Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed saying this was an unfortunate incident which never should have occurred. As our police department investigates these intolerable actions, we should not become desensitized to violence of any kind in our community. The scene was much calmer on Sunday. Montgomery resident William Green brought his daughter out along the riverfront. As a parent, he says he's concerned.
I do have a 12-year-old. I have to tell her how to conduct ourselves in areas where there are a lot of people. Also keep her head on a swivel and be able to determine what's going to happen in a situation so she can stay safe.
The Montgomery riverfront is a common place tourists go. The Anderson family is visiting from Florida in town to visit civil rights sites. They had not heard about this attack, but say they still feel safe because of Montgomery's police presence.
I feel safe here in Montgomery. Everyone has been very friendly to us while we've been here.
Despite the violence the riverfront saw the night before.
I think this provides a good opportunity to look at the policies that allowed this thing to get out of control.
Multiple arrest warrants have been issued, and MPD says more will follow after reviewing additional video. We're going to keep you updated on this story.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, again, like I said, if you guys want to see the extended version that, you know, has the actual brawl and the fight and all the stuff that happened so you can get more context in regards to what happened, you can go to my Rumble. So yeah, I mean, with that being said, here's what I gotta say about this, right? I think that it goes without saying that those white guys who jumped the black boat dock employee, obviously they're cowards. Obviously they're thugs. Obviously that's criminal behavior. Obviously they should be condemned, right? I think that goes without saying, okay? They were probably drunk, okay? There's probably a lot of stuff that goes on where, again, they probably felt entitled. They probably felt like, hey, we can park our boat or whatever, wherever we want. Okay, they felt like, again, they were above the rules, right? So it seems, right? Allegedly, okay, according to the story that we have now, which I'm acknowledging could change, right? We don't know exactly what was said. We don't know exactly what happened to lead up to this, even though we do have a story for what allegedly led up to it. I can't imagine under what circumstance does it make sense for you to jump a guy, right? Because they're trying to enforce the rules, okay? Again, clearly this is cowardly behavior. This is thug behavior. This is behavior that should be condemned. And again, lo and behold, you know, those guys were arrested, okay? Apparently, according to the mainstream media, they were arrested. And that's all that needs to be said about this situation. And that should have been the end of it, right? In a sane world where we didn't have people that are trying to play up this race narrative that's really not there, that's where the story should have ended, okay? 4 guys jumped a guy doing his job. They got arrested. They went to jail. Justice was served, and that's the end of it. But unfortunately, we don't live in that type of society or country. We live in a country where people want to see this, right? They want to see the white man and the black man fighting each other and play up this racial narrative that I just believe is just not really there, okay? This was not about race. This wasn't about the fact that the guy was black. If that guy was white, they would have did the same thing, right? This is about the fact that these white guys just simply didn't want to follow the rules, right? They didn't want to move their boat, okay? They didn't want to do what this employee was telling them to do. Again, that's allegedly what happened. And again, they decided to take matters into their own hands, right? And I believe that they would have did that regardless of whether or not the guy was black or white, okay? And I think that the best thing to do in that scenario, right, if you are not involved, if you are on the boat, okay, and the brawl is already over, right, the fight is over, the best thing to do in that scenario is to make sure that police do their jobs and arrest the white guys for jumping the black guy. What you don't do is get off the boat and then you go and jump the white guys and fight the white guys because you're upset. Because now you're getting yourself in trouble. Now you're going to be arrested because you're essentially doing the same thing that they did. Okay? I mean, there were women that were getting beat up by men, right? And the woman wasn't beating the black guy, right? I mean, again, at least not from what I saw. Again, I can be wrong about that, but they are here beating women in the street, okay, because they're white. So now you're beating anybody or attacking anybody because they're white, and then you got this big race riot when you should have just waited for police to get there, let police handle it. We all saw it on video, right? We saw what happened. The guys are clearly in the wrong. Let police come and handle the situation rather than to go and take matters into your own hand. Now you're getting yourself in trouble. Now we have this big race riot that, again, is stirring up more, bad race relations in this country. You have tweets like this in response. This guy says, white privilege. We finally got our hands on new video that outlines and shows that what first took place last night, what led up to the racial brawl that inspired, quote, suspected white supremacists to savagely attack and beat a black employee at the Riverfront Park in Montgomery, Alabama. This is another episode of, quote, I'm white and I say so. City of Montgomery, Alabama mayor says that, quote, warrants have been assigned. Yeah, so again, I'm not sure how you can say that these guys are white supremacists, right? I'm not sure what this has to do with white supremacy. Again, this is just entitlement more so than anything. This is just not following the rules, thinking that they're above the law. I'm not sure exactly what that has to do with it, right? But again, this is what they're making it about, right? Instead of just making it about the fact that, okay, these people were in the wrong, they should not have done this, and you should just leave it at that. But again, unfortunately, we live in a world where, again, everybody... So it seems they want a race war, right? They want to see this type of stuff, right? They love to see it, right? They want to see black folks and white folks fighting each other, going at it, as if, I don't know, maybe they have some pent up anger and animosity, right? I don't. Me personally, I don't like seeing this. I don't like seeing white folks and black folks fight each other, like this. I don't like seeing that, right? Now, what I do like seeing is criminals get arrested and to face consequences for their actions, which, hey, I think that those white guys that did that are criminals and should face consequences for their actions, obviously, okay? I want to state that unequivocally, right? But what I don't want to see, okay, is people retaliate in a way that's unnecessary, and then they end up going to jail over it, right? And then people go on the internet and want to play up some racial narrative that just isn't there so that, again, they can continue to have incidents like this happen, right? Because that's how more of this stuff happens when you play this stuff up, right? Oh, they're white supremacists. They're racist. Again, I don't see where race has anything to do with it. I'm not sure where white supremacy has anything to do with it. These were thugs who happen to be white engaging in behavior that is cowardly by jumping a man who's simply doing his job. Allegedly, that's what happened, right? All this is contingent on this actually being the real story, right? Again, we can have more information that comes out that, hey, maybe, just maybe, these white guys got mad for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Again, I can't imagine any scenario where it would be justified to jump a guy, but I don't know, right? I have no clue. This is based off what we're seeing. This is just based off the narrative we're getting from the media. We all know how it goes in situations like this. If it's too good to be true, that means it probably is. But then again, hey, this is what we have right now. This is my opinion on it as of the information we have right now. I think that the race stuff is just simply unnecessary. again, you can analyze this stuff without playing up race, but just some people can't because, again, it seems they want a race war, right? A lot of people in this country simply just want a race war, okay? And, hey, this is like red meat, right, to some people. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.